There is a continuing feeling that people that put on a uniform and take an oath to protect can themselves become criminals. This was a vicious, unprovoked, and unjustifiable murder.
Vicious and unjustifiable, words used to describe the video of the death of Tyre Nichols, which is getting national and global attention. Reverend Al Sharpton among those saying the prosecution of 5 police officers is appropriate. The former police officers, I should say. Good evening. I'm Joe Birch.
I'm Kim Clark. Tonight at 10, our coverage of the Tyre Nichols death investigation continues. Here are the latest developments. Authorities charged all 5 former Memphis police officers with second-degree murder, aggravated kidnapping, as well as other charges. Right now, we know that 2 of those men bonded out of jail. Desmond Mills Jr. and Justin Smith got out of jail less than 12 hours after they were booked. Now, the next step in this case is the release of the video. We know there are both body camera and Skycop videos.
That's right. And today, the district attorney for Shelby County, Steve Mulroy, announced that video would be released tomorrow evening by the city of Memphis at some point after 6 in the evening. We have live team coverage for you tonight with the latest developments from today, plus a vigil for Tyre Nichols held just hours ago at Toby Park, the place he called his second home. And
that's where we find Action News 5 Stephanie Douglas live at Toby Skate Park to bring us more about that vigil. Stephanie?
Good evening, guys. I can tell you that Toby Skate Park was packed with people, including skaters from all over Memphis and beyond, to honor Tyre Nichols. Now, friends, family, including Tyree's FedEx co-workers all came out to light up the night and pay tribute to Tyree. Several speakers came out to share Tyree's legacy and unite with the community in honor of him. The speakers say they are thankful for what's on the way and grieve deeply for the breath that Tyree will no longer take. So many messages were shared tonight, but it's clear that the community is asking for peace, unity, and justice.
We did not know, God, that Tyree was on his way home to you. But he shouldn't have been on his way home to you, God. Tyree should have made it home. Tyree should have made it home.
In the next coming days, local activists at the Vigil say they are aiming to put out calls for action to prevent this from ever happening again. Now, upon the release of Tyree's arrest video tomorrow, the family is asking to not show this to children. Live in Memphis tonight, Stephanie Douglas, Action News 5.
Well, the video, heinous, appalling, and criminal. Those are just some of the words investigators say about the death of Tyre Nichols. The investigation underway now.
Yeah, today 5 former Memphis police officers accused of beating Nichols were charged with murder. Action News 5's Bria Bolden joins us now live in our studio. Bria?
The Shelby County District Attorney and the director of the TBI announcing those charges in the use of force investigation today before video footage of the traffic stop that led to Tyre Nichols' death is released.
We're here today because of a tragedy that wounds one family deeply, but also hurts us all: the death of Tyre Nichols.
More than 2 weeks after Tyre Nichols died after a traffic stop with Memphis police, 5 former officers have been indicted for the alleged beating. Tadarius Bean, Demetrius Haley, Emmett Martin III, Desmond Mills Jr., and Justin Smith charged with second-degree murder, kidnapping, and other charges.
Let me be clear. What happened here does not at all reflect proper policing. This was wrong. This was criminal.
State, local, and community leaders and organizers satisfied with that outcome, but pushing for justice for Tyree, the father of one, an avid skateboarder who loved taking pictures of sunsets. But attorneys for former officers Martin and Mills say their clients should be treated equally under the law, innocent until proven guilty.
No one out there that night intended for Tyre Nichols to die.
Not only is Mr. Mills obviously devastated to find himself charged with a crime, but as somebody who is on the other side of law enforcement, somebody who has been in charge of keeping our community safe, to be accused of something like this hurts him on another level.
Skycop and body camera video of Tyre Nichols' last moments is scheduled to be released Friday.
And two of the former officers, Desmond Mills and Justice Smith, have bonded out. The TBI, DOJ, and FBI investigations are ongoing. Two Memphis Fire EMTs and other MPD officers are still under investigation. Reporting live in studio tonight, Bria Bolden, Action News 5.
In Washington, U.S. Congressman Steve Cohen of Tennessee addressed the Tyre Nichols situation on the House floor today.
Yes, and Congressman Cohen extended his condolences to Tyree's family and encouraged Memphians to exercise their First Amendment rights to peacefully assemble.
I am the congressman who represents the great city of Memphis. Right now, much of the national media is looking at Memphis as there was an awful killing of a 29-year-old African-American man by 5 police officers within the last few weeks. The 5 police officers have been fired by the police department for violating their oath. The DA will announce charges in a few hours. It could be a situation where people want to exercise their First Amendment rights to protest actions of the police department. And people should, but they should be peaceful and calm. We have a new DA, we have a new U.S. attorney, and we have a new police director. They are the right people at the right time to bring about reform and to deal with this case to see that justice is rendered. I grieve for the life of Tyre Nichols, whose life should not have been extinguished. He was an outstanding young man, and it's extremely sad that he was killed. I pray for my city. Thank you.
Now, one public official echoing activists' cries for action is Memphis Mayor Jim Strickland. Mayor Strickland praised Chief Davis and DA Mulroy for their work handling the situation this week.
The mayor also says changes could be coming to the city's police force.
It is clear that these officers violated the department's policies and training. But we are doing everything we can to prevent this from happening again. So we are initiating an outside, independent review of the training, policies, and operations of our specialized units. Lastly, I am sad and angry for the family of Tyre Nichols. I am also angry for the many good men and women of the Memphis Police Department who devote their lives to serving our citizens. We must all work to regain the public's trust and work together to heal the wounds these events have caused.
Shelby County Mayor Lee Harris said, quote, "I grieve with the family of Tyre Nichols. This family lost their beloved son too soon. As a community, I know we can confront prejudice and work together to build a more just and humane system. While the investigation into Mr. Nichols' death continues, I support the release of the video as soon as possible." End quote.
The Memphis Shelby County School District is canceling all after-school activities tomorrow. The district said all Y-Care and athletic events are canceled in the interest of public safety. MSCS Family Wellness Centers will close at 5 in the evening. The district said it's taking these measures out of an abundance of caution.
Memphis Light, Gas, and Water community offices will close early tomorrow as well. The utility says it'll close at 5 o'clock, saying normal hours resume Monday. MLGW says its call center will remain open until 7 o'clock tomorrow night. President Joe Biden also released a statement today on the Tyre Nichols investigation. The president said in part, quote, "Public trust is the foundation of public safety, and there are still too many places in America today where the bonds of trust are frayed or broken. Tyree's death is a painful reminder that we must do more to ensure that our criminal justice system lives up to the promise of fair and impartial justice, equal treatment, and dignity for all." End quote.
Tennessee Governor Bill Lee also issued a statement. The governor said, quote, "Cruel criminal abuse of power will not be tolerated in the state of Tennessee. These individuals do not represent the honorable men and women of law enforcement, and they must be brought to justice for this tragic loss of life." He went on to say the city of Memphis and the Memphis Police Department need to take a hard look at the misconduct and failure that has occurred within this unit. I discussed this with Mayor Strickland and pleased the city is pursuing an external impartial investigation, end quote.
In reaction to the officers being charged and arrested, Pastor Walter Womack of the Southern Christian Leadership Conference said this.
Speaks volumes. I want to commend the DA and the elected officials and other officials with their swift action in charging these officers appropriately. I think that this sends a message to the public. It resonates with the public that these are elected officials and they are committed to making sure that justice be served.
We will, of course, continue to follow the latest developments as this investigation into Nichols' death unfolds. Make sure you stay with Action News 5 tomorrow morning. We'll have new interviews with Memphis Mayor Jim Strickland and Shelby County District Attorney Steve Mulroy. And our Joy Redmond is set to interview MPD Chief C.J. Davis. So make sure you stay with Action News 5 on air and online for continuing coverage.